Hey guys, Darren here. Welcome to Mayhem Country Living. I have a question for you. What would you do? Well, first, I guess you need to know what I'm talking about. I will tell you a story and then I'll ask you that question again. Years ago, when the Hooch and I were poor, broken, hungry, recently married, living in a 1970s single wide trailer. We lived next door to a family who were incredible drug users. Just holy cow. But and they were nice enough, I guess, but they were just fantastic drug users. And so they would go weeks without power or heat or water or anything like that. And you might come out one day and Rocky would have hooked a hose pipe up to your bib faucet out in front of your house and run it over there to theirs so they could bathe, or use jumper cables to steal power from your box. I have seen that done for real, and it is scary because I work with electricity, and I was like, I'd never do that. But anyway, one day, they were doing their thing, Mom and Daddy over there next door, and they had a cute little daughter who has long since gotten away from them, grown up, done really good in life, and became a teacher and married a teacher, and I think she has one or two kids around now, so I will not tell you her name. But she came knocking on the door and she said, "Mr. Taylor, we don't have any food and I'm hungry." And I'm always off taken when someone calls me Mr. Taylor, because it's like, I don't know who that is. But I looked at her, and let's call her Jenny. And I said, "Well, hey, Jenny." And my wife was there, to just to make sure, for anybody that's possibly questioning. And my wife was there. And so we invited her to come in, and we sat her down and began quizzing her about what was going on. And she said, well, they came and cut the power off a couple of days ago, and then they cut the water off, so we don't have anything. And Dad's getting water out of the creek to pour in to flush the toilets for the septic. And I said, okay. And she said, and nobody has any food over there, and we were wondering if you had any food. I said, well, Jenny, I said, I have food here. I said, you're welcome to come over and eat anytime you want to. I said, and we're going to fix you a plate, and you're going to sit down and you're going to have dinner with us. And she said, well, what about my mama and daddy? I said, sweetie, I'm not feeding them. I'll feed you. I'll feed any of your friends that come over. I said, but your mama and daddy are grown, and they can figure out what they need to do. But I won't let you go hungry. She said, well, they wanted me to ask you and then bring some food back. I said, I won't give you any food to go back, but you stay over here as long as you want to, and you can take a shower or a bath, and we'll wash your clothes, and then we will send you home. I said, but they can't come inside my house. And she thought about it for a second, and she ate a huge dinner, and then she my wife told her, soap and water where, in the shower, and use whatever shampoo she wanted to, and just toss her clothes out, and we'd put it on the quick wash on the washing machine and washed it. And I bet she was over at the house an hour and a half eating and watching TV and waiting for her clothes to dry and everything. And then she, you know, combed her hair and brushed her teeth with an extra toothbrush and sent her back home. And then I knew this would happen. I mean, you know, trash is so predictable, just like politicians. And somebody was pounding at the front door, so I went to the door. And I always, you've seen me in every video, I always carry a gun. And that was the husband there, and he was like, my daughter came over here and she was supposed to get some food, and I just pulled my pistol out. And I said, Rocky, I said, do you want to die on my front steps? I know everybody at your house next door is watching through the window. I said, now I'll just shoot you and call the police, and they have a long history with you. I said, or maybe you could just thank me for feeding your daughter, and you can go back home, and maybe y'all can do more meth or something. How about that, you and your wife? And he was mad and he was hot, but he had a lot of respect for a pistol. And so he went over there, and I told him, I said, if you do anything to that little girl, I'm going to do it to you. I'm just letting you know. I said, so she is going to be coming over tomorrow and have dinner with us. And he was like, blah, blah, blah. I said, Rocky, I'll come get her. And thinking about it, I went ahead and we had called the police and talked to one of the people who were in charge of, I guess, child services, something like that, and told them. And just in case somebody said that, you know, that's why I was glad my wife was there, so they couldn't think of any kind of impropriety. And again, it was just funny. And the social worker that was assigned, she said, yeah, we're working on this, trying to get everything situated, and we've got a good foster home that we can place her in. And I said, it's a terrible thing to have to do that, because you always want kids to stay with families, but when mom and dad are meth heads and drug addicts, I said, it might be better off that they live with strangers, you know, really. And she said, you know, that was neither here nor there for her. It was just, you know, her whatever directive. And I thought, well, it's kind of a cop-out for you, lady. But, you know, she was nice enough. And that little girl came over and would eat with us. I think she had a brother, but he had run away to live with other family, something like that. And I think he's okay and doing good. And by now they're in their 30s, and they have long since forgotten about me and the hooch. You know, they don't remember or think enough to remember. But it was just very interesting. And the father would come over and make his little prostrations, and I said, I'm not going to feed you. And I would pay the girl to, or we would pay her like to weed the vegetable garden. It's not like we had much money either. But, you know, pay her a couple of dollars, and her mom and dad might have took it from her. Hopefully she hid it. But all of that to post this question to you guys, not what you would do in that situation. With everything that's happening now, with all these things that are happening and job losses, what would you do if one of your neighbors came over and said they were hungry and you weren't quite sure, and you were nervous and you had to make sure they weren't too shifty? What would you do? Post your comments and responses down below. I will grade your work, and you will get bonus points for creative answers. Take care of you people.